Hey guys, how's it going? Today I have for you a Phrygian scale fingerstyle guitar etude. The Phrygian scale, one of my favorite scales, has a very unique, recognizable, very specific type of sound. It's pretty dark, it's quite mysterious, it's quite mystical. And in this etude I took a chord progression, which is a very typical Phrygian sounding chord sequence. I'll break it down in this video. And I added a little bit of percussive hits to add some groove to it. And then in the second part I was also adding a melody in the Phrygian scale. And in this video I'm going to tell you about the chord sequence that I'm using here, a little bit about the Phrygian scale, and also the techniques that I'm using here in order to kind of tie it all together. Difficulty level for this etude is advanced. The reason I say it's advanced is because there's quite a tricky combination here of rhythmic hits but also muted downstrokes, which is a little bit of a more advanced technique. I'll explain everything in this video and you can just give it a try. The tabs are available. If you want to know more about scales and more about the fretboard and more about improvisation, join Master the Fretboard. We take a yearly program to deep dive into all the different fundamental scales and modes and how to use them in the context of improvisation and songs. All of the details are in the description. Let's get started. So we are using two chords here for this etude. The first one is E minor. The second one is an F major 7 flat 5. Can also be called F major 7 sharp 11. It's the same chord. And what is this chord with this fancy name? It's basically if you take a standard F chord and instead of barring the index finger, I'm only holding the 6th string. So the rest of the fingers are the same, but then the index finger, instead of barring, I am only holding the 6th string. So I get the open 1st string and the open 2nd string. So with F functioning as the root, the open E strings is our major 7th and the open B string is our flat 5 or sharp 11. That gives us this mystical, heavy, dark sound of the Phrygian scale. So these are the chords that I'm using here, and in order to build this nice groove, I'm doing this. So I'm adding just a standard hit on the 2 and the 4, just the same like any strumming hit you would do, a light fist, bang in the middle of the sound hole on the bass strings, and this gives us this nice groove. Finger picking patterns, quite straightforward, quite simple. You can see it in the tabs. The only special addition here is this. This is what I call brushing. It basically means a downstroke that you slowly release the fingers. So you create a little bit of resistance with this part of the right hand, and then you release the fingers one at a time. Ring, middle, index. And that gives us this nice sound. Brushing. So this is our main riff. Tabs are available on Patreon for download, so you can see the exact finger picking pattern and the rhythm. In the second part, I'm adding a melody into the mix, and that's where things get more tricky, technically speaking. So this is the tricky part. What happens here? I want to keep the percussive sound on the 2nd and 4th beat because that's what gives us the groove, and I don't want to interrupt that. But we have a melody note on the same beat, this one. So I cannot do a hit and play the note at the same time, so instead of hitting, I'm doing a muted downstroke, which basically means I am muting some of the strings above the string I play with any available finger on the left hand, and I'm doing like more of a downstroke. This is not exactly a standard downstroke. I am also hitting a little bit with like the palm of the right hand on like right above the bass string. So it's kind of a mixture. That's why I said it's advanced. It's a little bit tricky to get a clean sound doing this. Okay, so this technique quite tricky. There are also lots of different ways you can get that sound, but it does take some time to coordinate it. If this is the first time that you're attempting to do a muted downstroke, the easiest way to do it is using one finger and just muting like all of the strings on the left with the left hand. So like this, and just do just like a straightforward downstroke. That would give you more or less the same effect. Sounds pretty much the same when you play the whole thing. If you are able to keep the rhythm, you don't really notice so much the difference between the hits and the muted downstrokes. But from my experience teaching this to one-on-one students, it takes time to master this technique. So if this is new to you, you first want to practice that in isolation, like just take a few notes, and you need to coordinate this whole thing where before you can play this note, you need to first mute all of the strings and kind of do a downstroke instead of just speaking. So that's a lot of new habits for the brain. So it takes some time to wire this, and then it takes some more time to integrate it into the rest of the etude, so that you are able to still keep the rhythm. So this is our Phrygian etude. Again, the Phrygian scale is a really cool scale. It has a very specific sound. It's quite easy to recognize the Phrygian scale when you hear it. Usually in the context of songs, it's being used as a part of the song. Often it's like the verse in Phrygian, and then the chorus of the song would go to a different scale, like a relative minor scale. That's the most common way to resolve the tension or to get a sense of movement from the Phrygian scale. And again, if you want to learn more about scales and how to use them and how they are used in songs and how they are used with one another, check out Master the Fretboard. It's a great program, interactive program, where I guide you both in building technique and learning the fretboard. And along the way, we're also learning all the most fundamental scales, how to recognize their musical qualities and how they're actually used in songs. All the details are below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy your practice, and I'll see you guys next time.